One thing that has been handed down from generation to generation in my family has been the love for cooking. Not only is it about feeding your family, but it's also about nourishing ourselves as women and by default, nourishing our community. Every single time you have people over, even if it's just for cheese and a glass of wine, you are sharing. You're sharing yourself, you're sharing your environment, and you're creating a safe space for the people that you love and care about. This episode is all about culinary creativity, spicing up your meals and making an exciting culinary adventure. It has less to do with the cooking of the meals, but more to do with how it improves your lifestyle and how intentionally it improves your quality of life as a woman, because the way that you show up and care for yourself and nourish yourself is the way that you're going to show who you are out in this world. Hi, my name is Vanessa Williamson. Welcome to Feminine Spaces. This channel is dedicated to all topics relating to women, relationships, and lifestyle. This is part of our lifestyle series about culinary creativity. Now, as many of you guys know, my mother's Puerto Rican. My father was African. He was black. Genetics has told me that it was from Ghana. My grandparents were Dutch and French. So the culinary mixture that I have been grown and taught and cultivated in my life is amazing. I love cooking. I love everything about it. Not everybody likes cooking, and I can tell you the way that I cook now in my 50s is significantly different than the way that I cooked in my 20s. I'm grateful and thankful to have a mom who thought it was important for me to learn how to nourish myself, how to be able to create meals for myself by teaching me from a very young age, me and my brother, how to be able to be responsible and accountable for ourselves through our cooking. The first cookbook I purchased for myself in my 20s is called the Woman's Day Cookbook. This is what it looks like. It was my Bible because it taught me about structure, about ingredients, about timing, about setting up a table, about appetizers and main courses, and creating a menu, and also about desserts, because who doesn't love a dessert? But most importantly, it taught me that I have this vast cultural experience that my mom and my grandmother handed down to me. And I also have these cultural appreciations for the friends around me. Eating foods from different cultures promotes cultural appreciation. I was 12 years old when I met my very good friend, Bibi Daly. Her mom was Japanese. Mariko was amazing. The first time I had a bowl of osoba, or what we call now ramen, which I have a cookbook, I'll show you about it later, it blew my mind. I was used to having, as I said, my mother's Puerto Rican and my grandparents were Spaniards and also French and also Dutch. So I'm used to rice and beans and chicken fricassee and, using adobo and creating all these wonderful culinary, cultural foods that go with being Puerto Rican. But my girlfriend Bibi, she was Japanese, or she is Japanese because she's still alive. She's Japanese. So I learned about having bowls of osoba. I learned about egg rolls. I learned about going to her house and watching when her mom would make dumplings and make things to celebrate the new year. It was incredible to me, and it opened up my eyes to recognize that every single mom within families, they do the same thing. You move your culture forward and the things that you enjoy by cooking food for your family. And indirectly, that moment, being with Bibi at 12 years old and going to her house and having a bowl of osoba opened up my eyes to what this world is really about. It's women connecting with other women, sharing and exploring how do we show up not only for ourselves, but also hold space for the women around us. Since then, it has opened up my mind and my palate experience. Bibi taught me how to eat sushi for the first time. She taught me how to eat with chopsticks, where Mama-san would make fun of me all the time, but I really mastered the art of chopsticks. And that is part of promoting cultural appreciation. The other day, I had my friend Mariama over. She is from Sierra Leone, and we had such a great time. She came to my house, and I had made chicken fricassee, which is something traditionally Puerto Rican and also very French. And we had the best time. And she said something that really impacted and really like solidified why I do what I do when it comes to cooking food. And she goes, "Oh, Vanessa, this food is so good. It really reminds me of the importance of community. You know, you're sitting at your mama's table and eating that food, the comfort food that makes you feel so good." And it really is true. As women, whenever we do cook a meal, or whenever we open up ourselves to be able to share whatever culinary creativity we might have made, it and experiencing somebody else's, it takes you out of your comfort zone. It helps you to transform. And indirectly, when you have those experiences, like having sushi with my friend Bibi daily, then when I went out and purchased sushi for myself, it really increased my confidence. I felt like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, but I've learned something new, and I dare to do something different. That really improves how I show up for myself and opens up my mind in how I experience this fantastic world and life that I live in. Another thing that was very interesting about having Mariama over is that 2 weeks before, she had invited Carl and I, my husband, over to her house for dinner with her daughter Sierra. And we had the traditional food that you have. I'm not sure if it was in Gambia or Sierra Leone. The fish and that rice, oh my goodness. My husband is still talking about that. And I love that by opening up ourselves and sharing the foods and our culture, not only shows and shares a little bit of ourselves as women, but also allows us to open up to other women and be more reflective and be more supportive. The other thing that I love, of course, about culinary creativity is that, like I said, I have a book here, hold on. Having this experience with my friend Bibi daily guided me to purchase this book, Ramen. Again, ramen in Japanese, it's you say a bowl of osoba. So by daring to have that experience as a child, it has opened up my culinary world. You see that my spice drawer, it is full. It is full of so many experiences that I've had cooking because it allowed me to dare. And as I said at the very beginning of this video, when you dare to do culinary creativity or spice up your life or spice up your meals and bring in something exciting, something you've never done before, it opens up not only your palate, but it also opens you up to other experiences. In my spice drawer, there are Indian spices and Spanish spices and French spices and Japanese spices. And spices, as we all know, because the spice trade really opened up what you found in other countries and made it accessible to all of us. And that is part of what promotes the cultural appreciation, is because you're being nourished and you're exposing yourself to learn something new. And every time you learn something new, it really does spark creativity. And when you spark creativity, it allows you to dare to dream, dare to do something different, dare to do something. And you know, if it doesn't work, it's great, because through that lesson of not working, you're able to go, oh, it didn't work because of this and this and this. So next time I'll try something different. And you know, everything about this channel has to do with feminine spaces, which includes cultivating your intuition, and sparking creativity helps you cultivate your intuition because it helps you trust yourself. You're learning, you're daring to do something different that's outside of your normal. So even though we're talking about culinary creativity and how it improves and enhances our nutritional, let's say, vocabulary when it comes to food, because you're trying new things, new spices, new vegetables, new fruits, new culinary countries that you're experiencing. It allows you to transform not only your mealtime, but also experiencing the exciting side of life. Because when we cook the same thing every single week, I love a chicken. I gotta tell you, I love a chicken. But you know, Thai chicken, chicken curry, chicken masala, grilled chicken, roasting chicken. All of these things are a different way of cooking chicken, which makes it a little bit exciting. And it prevents us from becoming so monotonous in our, not only mealtime, but also in our life. So through this episode, we've talked about the diversity in our diet because you're learning and experiencing different cultures. For example, since I've been in Sweden for 14 years, I love this little book, this 7-minute Minute köket, right? So it's 7 minutes that you can come into the kitchen, and there's 30 recipes that help you learn something that's traditionally Swedish, using the vegetables that are found here in Sweden, and cooking some of like the fish cakes that are so exciting, and they're really simple and they're new. For me, because Sweden is a country that I've lived in for 14 years, and I love it. Of course, it has its ups and downs like everything else, but the fact that I dare to move here, the fact that I dare to use my creativity in a different way and adapt the culture that I live in helps me improve as a woman living in this country, showing up for myself, for my family, and for my community. One of the other cookbooks that I love so very much, which you know has nothing to do with cooking, but it has to do with daring to try something different. And this William Sonoma, oh my goodness, it's such a classic. This satisfying new ways of eating right. So it's clean eating in a sexy, healthy way. And this is the way that you and I show up, by exploring for ourselves. Because let me tell you, I love an Uber Eats. Uber Eats, it's simple. You choose something, it comes to your door. It makes life so easy. At the same time, it takes out the sexiness of your life, because it kind of adds to, once you order Uber Eats once, you'll order it twice, you'll order it 3 times. And it really affects your lifestyle, because before you know it, then you've gained 2 or 3 or 4 pounds or 1 kilo, because you're eating something, and it is kind of monotonous in its own way, because as women, we're not really experiencing life. We're just kind of ordering something. It's at the door, we eat it. It's very humdrum. It's super boring, and it's just, I need to eat, not because you're feeding yourself. So part of culinary creativity is allowing you as a woman that's intricate and magical and empowering and sexy. It allows you to show up for yourself, because everything that you put into your body affects how you think. It affects your energy. It affects how you show up for yourself, how comfortable you feel in your body, how comfortable you feel around your community. So it's so important to think about culinary creativity and food, and how it feeds and nourishes yourself as a woman, so you show up better. And of course, every time that we do eat something new and you share it with somebody else, like I shared my story about BB Daily when it came to having my first bowl of osoba, or sharing with you my story of Mariama coming here and having traditional Puerto Rican food, or my husband and I going to her house and having traditional food from Sierra Leone. This is part of cultural storytelling. It's the intricate weaving of our stories, our life stories, our experiencing it, and sharing it through our food. It's part of understanding of breaking the routine. It's also the beauty of creative exploration. And there's one thing that I've learned in this magnificent life that you and I live is creative exploration helps you to understand who you are and where you come from and how do you express that with other women, your family, your children, and also the community that you share in your everyday life. I really trust that everything you learned about culinary creativity and how to apply it so it really improves how you show up for yourself as a woman in this magical life, that it really impacts you and it's something that you adapt in your everyday life. This channel is dedicated to topics relating to women, relationships, and lifestyle. Again, this is part of the lifestyle series, and it's understanding how food really impacts who you are, how you share it with others. It improves your creativity and really starts cultivating that intuition, which is something, that magical witchness that I always say that us women have. It's that intuition, it's that sixth sense. And the more you get to know yourself, the better and stronger your intuition becomes. So you end up showing up for yourself and the community of women around you in most magical ways. Every Thursday, I post a new video, and I trust that this week you're able to apply these fantastic, fun little shared stories that we have in building our community and improve how you show up for yourself. Write down in your comments other topics you want to know about and also how this really helped you show up for yourself.